I'm hearing scuttlebutt around the squad bay. Talk that maybe Colonel Shipp took this too far. We could have quarantined Katanga, right? Called in more ships? Listen, the Colonel knows about everything people know about Xenos. How they react, how their guts work. She knew that before she joined the Corps. When she was a teenager, she survived a Xeno outbreak. Little outlier colony. You would never heard of it. One thing she'll always hold to. Gotta kill them fast. The longer you wait, the more chance they got to spread. I don't know all the details, and you know what? It ain't my place to ask, but I do know she got a twin sister, Viola. Also, the ship went into a goddamn hive to rescue her. That's how she learned some of the shit she know about Xenos, watching close range from inside. Maybe, but by the time a battle group got here, Weyland-Yutani would have their people in system. Executives and dog catcher teams, mercenaries and lawyers. They find something to cite that the Colonel don't got authority to override, Colonial Protection Act or not. Then they swagger aboard Katanga or land on LV-895 and fuck it all up real good. Xenos find ways. They hide, go where humans can't. Tight spaces, vacuum, deep cold. Wait for their chance. Come when you ain't looking. And don't expect them. But just don't go bringing it up with herself. Tu sabe? Colonels ain't in the habit of explaining themselves to grunts. Yo, it's just between you and me. You found old dog tags on Katanga. Shit. Rumor control. This don't go beyond you and me. Comprendo? The Corporal Olivia Shipp, who owned these dog tags, that's our colonel. Some 20 years back, her unit responded to a Xeno outbreak at a Seegson colony. The survivors evac to an orbital refinery, Katanga, but the bugs came with. Shit went bad. A civilian with a grudge took control of the refinery. The rescue dropships got wasted, and Shipp had to leave survivors through the station to the hangars. A lot of people got killed, civvies and Shipp's team. The bad guy herded them into Xeno ambushes, ground them up in the works. Now Shipp don't talk about how it ended, even with me, and I served 2 tours with her now, so don't you go asking her nothing.
Under my authority as delegated by the Secretary of the Navy, I have awarded you the Expeditionary Service Ribbon for heroic service. Upon loss of contact with a Marine unit, you advanced into a xenomorph hive and confirmed the status of 3 MIAs. You then completed their mission, resulting in the destruction of said hive. Your boldness and dedication are in keeping with the finest traditions of the Colonial Marine Corps and United America's Armed Services. Given this day, in May 2202, Colonel, some things don't belong in official reports. Katanga has been a stain on the honor of the Corps for years. If you haven't heard the details yet, don't worry about it. I'll just say I'm personally glad to see the place blown to hell. Report to Lieutenant Santos for debriefing. Dismissed.
We told you that 25 years ago, Katanga was falsely reported destroyed. In 2175, Seegson had moved it to the Mid-Rim. 2 years later, the colony it serviced was overrun by xenomorphs. Survivors fled to Katanga, where the infestation spread. Colonial Marines responded to their distress call. It was a Marine who claimed Katanga was scuttled. A senior staff officer on site conspired to hand the young hive over to Weyland-Yutani. Sadly, yes. General Delilah Vaughn, one of the conspirators responsible for the Frontier War in 2184. Before her disgrace, she rose to Assistant Commandant of the Corps. Colonial Marine officers conspired with Weyland-Yutani executives to provoke a war between the United Americas and the Union of Progressive Peoples. The generals wanted a decisive war after decades of proxy conflicts and containment. Weyland-Yutani merely wanted to drive arms sales. The Colonial Protection Act was passed to prevent such things from happening again, and Commissars was initially formed to monitor outside influences on the Corps. There were no reported sightings, not in any star system visited by humans, and not recorded by any vessel in transit. Most likely, Weyland-Yutani moved Katanga to a location in deep space, far off the shipping lanes. They used it as an ant farm to breed experimental stock. When the company wanted to accelerate their experiments at Paula Station, they moved it here. Seegson reported something unusual on the far side of the planet from their settlement. It became the focus of the entire colony's efforts. The xenomorph outbreak began at that remote site and spread back to the main complex. The colonists ultimately abandoned the surface and fled to Katanga. Some evacuees proved to be infected and the infestation flared up again. There was discord among the survivors, unspecified personal grievances. A few deaths were involved. Forgive us if we don't identify the system. It's classified. The planet had suffered a global extinction event around 80 years previous. It was nearly devoid of animal life. Biomes had begun to collapse for lack of pollination. Acidic soil and water were spreading, and the atmosphere was growing over-oxygenated, which made it perfect for the mass importation of Earth livestock. Judging by the embryo gene lines in their cargo manifests, the colony hoped to become known for its steaks. If you wish to review, we're always available. No need to warn us ahead of time. We have your schedule.
You scanned a xenomorph organ? Show me your data. Acid spray gland. Relatively intact. I'll give this a good review later. Spitters are interesting. Most forms of xenomorph charge and attack with claws and striking teeth. These things deliberately keep their distance. They have claws and teeth, and they'll use them if you're stupid enough to get close. Mostly they spray acid, like terrestrial oog-peaster beetles or spitting cobras. I've seen reports of ranges up to 25 meters. I'm damn curious to know what these things breed out of. We've seen spitters before, but not often, and this head shape is unique. They must come from something native to LV-895.
Hey, aside from Esther, I think you're the one I've spent the most time with. It was all running and shooting and screaming, but that's time. Right? Look, one of the Paula Station crew was a spy for Hyperdyne Systems. We never found out what he sent off station. Maybe his handlers know all about the pathogen and the xenomorph outbreak. They could be on their way here now. Well, Weyland-Yutani used to own Hyperdyne, but now they're competitors, especially on the frontier. No government's claimed any of these systems. They're both dropping colonies all over, trying to beat each other to the best planets. And besides that, I mean, Hyperdyne's a big defense contractor for the UPP, right? Shouldn't we be worried about this starting a war between them and us? The pathogen could be a terrible weapon. Weyland was just trying to make better xenomorphs with it, but you could just drop it. Dump it in a water supply. There's enough down there to wipe out every human colony. Weyland-Yutani's got to be on their way here. If Hyperdyne is too, things could get real bad for everyone caught in the middle. I know you've got things to deal with right now. I'm just worried about what happens next.
somebody printed a Hyperdyne Systems weapon brochure. On paper. Hyperdyne's whole damn business is based on virtual sales. They don't manufacture anything. They sell licenses for fabrication blueprints and ballistic software. When you order, they send a bunch of files over Hyperpulse. You load them into your own fabricator and hit print. Look, I know Hyperdyne is technically the enemy. They design small arms for the Union of Progressive Peoples. But they know how to run a business. Few colonies in the Hyades had heavy industry, and they were short on freighters. But every outpost had general-purpose commercial fabricators. Hyperdyne knows where the wind's blowing. That's how they survived as a UPP state enterprise when other Hyades megacorps got nationalized.
Bada Baines. Guess we can't call you Boot no more, huh? Hell of a deployment. We found shit Weyland-Yutani spent a lot of time and money hiding. Ruins left by aliens that looked like us. An orbital refinery used as a Xeno breeding farm. And a lab using tech from the ruins on Xenos from the refinery. We still gotta secure LV-895 in the alien ruins. There's Xenos and mutants running loose down there. Normally, we carpet nuke the place, ruins be damned, but Doc Hanukkah says that can make things worse. Spray that pathogen shit all over the damn moon. Near term, we're gonna hold orbit, keep this shit locked down. I'll bet my ample Marine paycheck they're on their way here right now. They'll send military contractors, dog catcher units, lawyers. Maybe they'll talk, maybe they'll just start shooting. But that ain't all we gotta worry about. Doc Hanukkah says some rival company to Weyland-Yutani sabotaged Palace Station. Whoever that was, if they heard his mayday, they might be on their way here too.